What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. On today's episode, we have inherited our grandpa's old rundown farm. We're gonna go check it out, see if we can't turn it into something functioning, make a little bit of money off of it. We were told that there's a little bit of equipment there. I was told it was some older stuff, and we found out that grandpa left us a little bit of money. Come along with us. Let's see what we can turn it into. Hope you enjoy. All right. Well, we just left town. We just rolled up here in Alma, Missouri. This is where Grandpa's farm was at. Good thing we brought the camper. I just got off the phone with my dad, and he said that Grandpa's old farm was a little bit grown up more than we expected. So he does have a trailer here, but we're not entirely sure if it's going to be something that's livable. So it's a good thing we brought the old camper just in case. They did also tell us, too, that Grandpa left us all a little bit of money, and they were right. He ended up leaving us about $200,000 and some change. So that, plus the equipment that he already had here, hopefully we'll be able to get something good going. Looking like the farm's right up here on the left. It's definitely looking a little bit grown up. Nothing too bad yet. See once we get in here. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, definitely grown up just a little bit in there. It's probably a really good thing that we brought the old camper, because that's Grandpa's trailer in there. It's pretty grown up. I think the barn is supposed to be right up here on the left. Yep, there it is. It's also definitely pretty grown up. There's a tractor in there, at least one. Looking like we've got a rake and a hay roller, so the start to maybe being able to do some hay. Let's get this camper parked off the side over here, and we'll see what we have going. Check out the shed. Oh, there's something over here in the weeds, too. Oh, wait a minute. I remember this. This is the old hay bine. This thing used to give my grandpa nothing but trouble. Hopefully it still works. If it works, it's looking like we are going to be able to cut, rake, and roll some hay. So maybe we'll have an easy startup for some money here. The old New Holland roller. See what's going on over here in this barn. It is thick in here. Oh, so 2 tractors? There is. Heck yeah. So it looks like we've got a Fiat and an old International. Okay. Well, that's something to start with. Now, they did tell us, too, that Grandpa left an old truck, and it's looking like he did. Looking like we have an old 70 to 72 D10, maybe? Oh, yeah. It doesn't look too bad. I don't know if it runs or not. I don't know if it got rammed when it was parked or what. It's got a little bit of rust. Definitely needs a bath. Definitely gonna have to get these tractors serviced. They look like they've been sitting in here for quite a while. They definitely need a bath. That's for sure. I tell you what, it's almost soybean season, and I think there was a field left here. I think there was, by the time it was all said and done, Grandpa had 1 field left. Let's go hop in the truck. Let's sit the camper here for now, and we'll see what we've got. See what we've got going. All right. Yep, there is the last field that Grandpa had. I don't know what's planted here. Looks like we've got alpha here, so this is ready to harvest. So we can go ahead and cut this and bale it, and that'll give us some decent money to start. I tell you what, though, one of my old high school friends still lives here in Alma. Let's go see if he's got some equipment that we can use to get all of this cleared out. Hopefully he's got a trailer, because we don't have a trailer with us. But hopefully he's got maybe a brush cutter and a skid steer or something. That way we can get all of this cleaned up. That way we can actually get these tractors and stuff out of here. Alrighty, we are almost to our old high school buddy's house. He did, in fact, have something that we could use. He said he had a 40-foot gooseneck that we could just keep for a little while. That way we can move equipment around or whatever. He's actually out of town for a little bit. But he had one of his friends come over and load us up a little John Deere 710 with a 3-point mulcher attached to the back of it. So we definitely appreciate that a lot. Hopefully it all, I mean, it's being used regularly, kept up with. So hopefully it all still works super good. He said right up here. Yep, right there. He said on the right behind the shed with the hay roll. Get out and check this little guy out. Yeah, he said we could keep this trailer for a little bit. He's going to be out of town for a while, so... Oh, yeah. Looks like it should be exactly what we need. Get that done. Oh, we'll get this thing hooked up to the truck and get it back. Get our tractors cleared out of our barn over there. Hopefully the old GMC is going to be all we need for right now, because it's one of the smaller trucks that we have on the farm back home. But worried about it pulling some stuff. If you get into any kind of cropping, really, we are going to need a combine of sorts. Worried about the old GMC with pulling stuff like that, so we may end up having to have some stuff delivered from the local shop here in town, but we'll just have to see. Alrighty, we're pulling back up here to the old farm with the mulcher on the trailer. Hopefully this doesn't take too long. It would be really, it's almost time to start with the soybeans, so we really need to try to get this alfalfa done as quick as possible if that is what we are going to do. But we'll just kind of have to see what time allows as we get moving. I'm not going to worry about getting Gramps' old house cleaned out there. Right now we just got to get the front of this barn cleaned out so we can actually get these tractors out of here. Yeah, nice little John Deere 710. I drove one of these growing up. Things are awesome. Hopefully, all goes well. This will do exactly what I need it to do. Oh yeah, there we go. Getting a lot of it cleared right out here for us. Like some of this bigger stuff isn't really wanting to cut down. See what all we can clear out right here. I was really hoping that this little mulcher would get done exactly what we needed to get done, but we may end up having to go borrow a chainsaw from the store or something. Oh yeah. Looking like it's doing pretty good with all of the underbrush, but the actual big stuff, it's not really wanting to chop up too much. Well, it's looking like we're gonna have to get a little chainsaw here. So let me park the tractor real quick and get all of it turned off. We will we'll be right back. We're gonna run down to the store and get a chainsaw real quick. Alrighty, well, we got all of that cleaned up. Luckily, they had some nice little steel chainsaws in stock, so that helped a lot. And then once they got cut down, the mulcher did just fine, getting all of them messed up. So let us see what's going on. We're going to leave the old truck for now. We need to get the tractors going. We really need to get to working on that alfalfa. Tip this old Hydro International, the farm all started right up. Probably still going to get all of these loaded up and get them taken to go get serviced, because no telling how long these tractors have been sitting in here. So we've already got the trailer hooked back up. We're going to run these to town and get these serviced, and we're going to drop off the old 710 John Deere and the mulcher back at our buddy's house. So let us get both of these loaded up right quick. Hopefully we can fit all three on this trailer. I think we should be able to. Might be a little much for the old GMC to pull, but Oh, we should be able to fit all 3 of them up here. Probably have to put that mulcher on last, though. I'm super excited for once we get everything set up a little bit to kind of dig into that old truck over there. It's a super cool looking machine. Might be nice to have another truck to use too on the farm, because we've only got the one for now, unless I make some calls back home and have another one brought down here or delivered. I don't know if we have to do all of that just yet. This right here is going to tell us, can we fit John Deere on here? I don't think so. Pretty sure our buddy will be okay with us just leaving it in the barn for now, but we got to get these other 2 tractors and take them to get them serviced super quick. Hopefully we get a good spot in line down at the local shop. Maybe we can tell them what's going on and they can get them in and out super quick. Back this up just a little bit, get it balanced out on the trailer a little bit more. Got the heavier tractor sitting right over the back axle, so hopefully that'll help a little bit with the truck pulling, because I am kind of worried about it. Those ramps folded up. Then I'm gonna put some ratchet straps down. Be good for that one. Alrighty. Yep, we're gonna get these. We're gonna head into town with these. Go drop them off at the local shop, and see if they can't get them serviced for us super fast to make this kind of a couple-hour trip, and then get back out here to the farm. And it looks like we're gonna start cutting some alfalfa. Alrighty, we got both of the tractors dropped off here at the shop in town. They said it would probably take about an hour and a half. They would give us a call whenever they were ready. So we're gonna head back to the farm and maybe use that old John Deere. We did call our buddy. He said we could just hold on to it for a little while, since he's not gonna be around and he's not gonna be using it. So maybe we could use that old John Deere to pull the other equipment out of the shed and then pull out that hay bind. It's kind of sitting in the weeds in there, but maybe we can get all that stuff out and take a look at it and make sure it's all gonna work appropriately. And then once we get the call to come back and get our stuff, we'll get started on that alfalfa. Delivery truck about ran his stop sign there. These drivers out here just kind of act like they own the road. Anyways, we're gonna get back to the house and get this equipment pulled out, make sure it's all in working order. That way, as soon as the tractors are ready, we can get started on the alfalfa. Alrighty, we're back at the house. We've got this old John Deere 710. We just took the mulcher off of it. Let's go pull this other equipment out and make sure it's all in working order. That way, whenever we do get our tractors back, we can go ahead and get started on this alfalfa that we have over here. I don't know if maybe one of the neighbors planted it or what, because Grandpa hasn't been in shape to farm for a long time. So I know that he didn't plant that alfalfa in that field, but we'll just have to get started on this old hay bind and get it pulled out of the woods. Don't know why that was parked in the woods, but you know, it's a sure everything unfolds. Oh, it does. Perfect. Make sure all the hydraulics work. Down. Does sound like it does turn on good. Well, that's a good sign. So maybe everything just needs a good old bath. Yep, perfect. That's exactly what we need. This over here for now. Get out this hay roller, make sure it is good. Got a lot to do. Hopefully we can get all this done before it's time to plant the soybeans. Okay, looks like we can have, I guess, relatively small bales come out of this, but we'll have to see. Make sure this all, there's the pickup. Pickup's working. Turns on. Okay. Seems like that's all in good working order. Didn't mean to hop off the tractor there. I meant to drop the baler. Last part is to pull this rake out. That thing is just wedged in there tight. Hopefully we can get it out with this little tractor. Oh, no. That thing is just wedged in there. There we go. Perfect. All right, let's make sure this thing unfolds. One up and down, folding. That's a good sign. Well, I guess the last thing to do is just to sit and wait for the shop to call us back, and we can head back and get our tractors. Then we'll get everything back and get it all started. This little John Deere up real quick. We're back on it just because. Ready. Yep, let's just wait about, we should only have to wait about another 45 minutes, and then our tractors should be ready, and we'll get them back and get everything going. All right, it is 10:30. It's been about an hour and 15 minutes since we dropped the tractors off. They did call us a little bit earlier, and they said they were going to, so that was good. They said that they are sitting out back where we parked them at, and they should be ready to go. They said everything looked good on them. One of them needed an oil change. Both of them got a bath, which is good, and then I think both of them got new bell bearings in the front, I believe is what they said. But they're just going to add that to the tab that we have started here. Luckily, Grandpa had an old account here that they were able to just get transferred over to me, so that's not going to cost us any money yet, but it is going to. It is going to be a running tab that we are eventually going to have to pay, but hopefully start making enough money that we don't have to really worry about keeping a tab. So let's get these tractors loaded up, and then we are going to get them back to the farm, get started on the old Alfalfa. Oh, this one even sounds like it's running better. Oh yeah, I'm assuming this is probably the one that needed the oil change, and I think this one definitely got the most work done to it. I know it got an oil change, some wheel bearings. I think it got a new air filter. I think it wasn't running that good because it wasn't getting enough airflow. But it definitely is running a whole lot better. These guys strapped down real quick. Perfect. Alrighty, let's get headed back to the farm. Camp's back there. Get back to the farm here, and then we will get started on some alfalfa, and that'll be hopefully our first little bit of profit, because other than the bill for the tractors, we haven't had to spend any money yet. So plus what Grandpa gave us in our inheritance, so that plus, you know, some alfalfa that was already ready to cut and all free equipment, gonna be pretty good. Starting off good. Alrighty, we're pulling back up in the farm here with the tractors. Man, those things look so much better than they did whenever we pulled them out of the barn. I guess, I don't know which one of these is going to be best for the hay bine. I don't know if the little International can haul it. But I guess the only thing that we can really do is find out. Maybe. I think probably the only thing the little International can haul is maybe the baler. So I guess we'll just start with this old Fiat and see how it goes. The Haybine just looks like it's bigger than the old International, so right. down to the field down here. It's 10:45. We're making pretty good time this morning. You know, we got that. I mean, I think we started at about 7:30. We got the barn cleared, got the tractors down for a quick little maintenance run. Then now we're already back. Haybine opened up. Right, I've never used one of these like this, so this might take some getting used to. They missed some spots. Have to, hopefully we don't. Hopefully we can get this all done in a couple smooth passes, and then have to run back over it. Never used a haybine like this before. Offset off a hitch here. Normally they're just 3-point attached to the tractor. But we're gonna get running around through here. I can tell you right now, it's gonna take a minute. This thing's only cutting it, looks like about 5.5 meters at a time. Pretty small. Pretty small cut. Oh, don't miss those pieces. We gotta make sure we stay out of the ditch down here. Good Lord. Alrighty, about 2 hours later, we have finally got this field done. It was way bigger than we thought it was. This has taken a long time, way too long. It has for sure told me that if we're going to keep this field of alfalfa, we have got to invest in some bigger equipment. I have quickly remembered all of the problems that my grandpa had out of this freaking haybine. This thing has been a nightmare to drive around this field for the last 2 hours, but we officially have all the alfalfa cut. That is a lot of alfalfa. It's bad. Oh, it was so bad. But it's fine. This stuff was actually really dry. Oh, I forgot about this spot right here. Ha ha ha. Let's get this spot right here cut real quick, I guess. I can't believe I forgot about this. It has been like an hour since I was up at this side of the field, so it kind of makes sense that I forgot about it. Oh, another little spot that I missed. I have been losing my mind cutting this field. Do not judge me. There's been so much happening. This haybine is a nightmare. It's not fun. Anyways, last little spot, and bada bing, bada boom. Got it. All right. That took way too long. Yep, if we're going to keep that field for alfalfa, we are going to have to invest in some bigger equipment. That was an absolutely miserable process that I did not enjoy. But that's a lot of alfalfa. We should have a pretty good little chunk of change coming from that, just to help us get some more cash in the bank. So now it is time to rake. We're also going to have to spend a little bit of money and invest in a pressure washer, because if you can't tell, that haybine got extremely dirty just now. I guess I don't understand how the alfalfa was so dry, because that field was super, super wet. But it's okay. We're going to get this raked down here. We're going to get all this raked up. And then we're going to check it. We may let it sit for a day and dry, but honestly, we may just go ahead and bale it straight up. We're just going to have to see what's happening. There's a little bit of grass mixed in here, too, which is super interesting. But here we go. Oh, yes, this is going so much faster. Again, I will say this. We severely underestimated the size of this field. That is about another hour and a half that has gone by to get this field raked. So if we're going to continue with this as a source of income, we absolutely are going to have to get some better equipment, because you see all the little spots that it missed, but this is like the best thing that we could do to get it done. That's about the best we could do to get at least all of it raked up. I might be able to put a little bit of this. We'll have to see how this picks up right here. Still a little bit splotchy, but maybe we'll at least be able to pick it up some. Yeah, this is crazy. We're definitely gonna have to get a bigger rake or something moving forward if we want to keep using this field for alfalfa as a source of income. But it'll all be okay. Got it all raked up now. I'm gonna hit a couple of these little splotchy patches and see if we can't get it cleaned up, get as much out of it as we possibly can. If there's a little bit left laying, I'm not that stressed about it. This has been completely free to us, except for the bill to get the tractors serviced and back functional. But I think that right there is about the best that we have. That's gonna be a lot of alfalfa. That's gonna be a pretty big yield. I'm gonna head back up here, and we are going to get the roller, and the roller's all good and ready to go. One thing I did figure out though is that, or did remember, or for some reason it slipped my mind, is we don't have a way to load the bales. We don't have a way to move them out of the field, so probably gonna have to sit in the field for a little while, and then before we start on the soybeans, we'll make a trip to town and spend a little bit of the money that we have and get a front loader maybe, or a forklift, or we might just get a front loader attachment for this medium tractor and bale spike, which is gonna be a little bit annoying, but gotta do what we gotta do to get it done. I don't really have a use for that little international. I may honestly sell it. I think there's a little auction coming up here soon. I haven't really gotten in touch with anybody who's from around here that handles that kind of stuff. Hopefully, I think there is an auction soon. I think my buddy down the road that we got the John Deere from told us that there's an auction in like a week. So maybe we can take it down there and maybe take the rake or the haybine and honestly just go ahead and see if we can sell it and get enough money to buy something better for next time around. But for now, we are going to get started on this and hope for the absolute best. And realize that part of this, these ones around the edges are going to be mixed bales, fortunately, but that's kind of like the only thing that we can do right now. On a positive note, we are kind of moving pretty quick with this. That's kind of been the biggest part of the raking that was annoying, that we couldn't go too fast. That rake couldn't really handle it, but this right here is going to be give us a good estimate of how much we're about to get, because that's already full. Oh, this baler has the automatic drop on it, so yeah, perfect. We can just get to grooving and it'll drop them whenever it's time. Like I said, we're going to try to hit everything, but if there are some spots that are missed, not that worried about it. This is going to be complete and total profit for us. And based off how big the field is, I think the bill for the tractors was like 800 bucks. So we're definitely going to make more than $800 off of this. So this field's going to be like strictly profit. There we go. I think all of that around there is a lot of grass. It's pretty splotchy. We'll just hit this little... I guess we'll just keep going down this little strip and pick up this, and then we'll get actually started on the big road. Alrighty. Well, just about got this done. We're going to be able to squeak out one more full roll for sure. But I think there's enough scrap left on the ground to pick up to make one more. Just going to put us at 29. Honestly, we may see if there's enough scrap left over to make it an even 30 round bells. We'll just have to see here real quick. Not much more to pick up here. This was definitely a long process that we absolutely were not expecting. But it is what it is. It happens. We just underestimated the size of the farm plus the equipment that we had. We have good equipment and stuff, just a big field. There's going to be enough for at least one more bale, but I don't think it's going to be worth it to drive all the way around and try to get number. Just don't think it's going to be worth it. Ooh, I know exactly where to go. There's one more strip right up here. There's a bunch of more strips. Never mind, we might get bale 30. So look and see here for a second. I forgot there was this much scrap left laying around. Yeah, we should be able to get an even 30. Tell you what, this New Holland 648 is done really well, actually. It's actually doing a lot bigger bales than I thought it would do. I thought it was going to do like little bitty round bales, but it has not. I'm actually really impressed with it. Having this medium tractor has been super nice too. Like I said, don't really have a use for the little tractor, the little International. We will probably just end up selling it. Maybe we can do a trade. Maybe we can do a trade for a better rake or a better cutter. We'll just have to see. I did get a hold of our buddy down the street, and that auction is in 6 days. It'll be very, very soon. And once we get this done, honestly, I think the only thing we really have to do is go up there and work on some brush cutting some more. It's a good thing we kept that little John Deere and that brush cutter. We got to do a little bit more brush cutting, and then it'll be time to start planting some soybeans. So hopefully whenever we go to that auction, we'll get a good deal on a planter or a seeder, and maybe go ahead and get a combine. We'll just have to see what kind of deal we can find up there as far as a harvester. Tell you what I'll do. I'll go hit around this edge. It's going to be kind of a big mix around the edge. I haven't been really going too much around the edge of this big mix of grass and alfalfa, but we'll go ahead and do it just to finish up bale number 30. Well, it really works better when you turn the baler on, I guess. Yeah, this bale's going to be really mixed, but honestly going to be mostly grass, probably. Still saying it's mostly alfalfa. We got a bunch more down here in this corner we can grab too. And I think maybe this fall. There we go. Even number 30 right there. So we got 30 bales out of that. That was a decent field. It was way bigger than I thought it was going to be. But I think maybe this fall we'll do our soybeans in April. We'll harvest those. If we can get a good deal on a planter, we may switch up from the soybeans and we may plant some corn. Have to see. But we'll either do soybeans or corn in April, and then I think this fall, once we harvest all that, we have a bunch of open space up here. It might take a little bit of work, but we could turn this into some nice cattle pastures up here, I believe. So we may invest in cattle this fall. Whoa! Got a little slippage there whenever I was backing up. That ground must be a little bit wet. That thing just shot sideways super quick. This back in that almost middle stall. The other two are too big to go back in there, so we're not going to put those back. But we'll get these tractors put up. I definitely need to go get a pressure washer soon as well. Our equipment clean, make it last longer. Oh, slipped in there again. Man, everything's super wet. I'm gonna have to put some gravel down in these places that I'm driving a whole lot, because I keep slipping and sliding everywhere. The little international off of here. I tell you what, I'm gonna leave the little international on here, because next thing to do is going to be the auction. Just pulled over here out of the way and get it ready to go. And the last thing we're gonna do today is we are going to get this camper put somewhere and then get it set up. I honestly think we may just slide it in here down this tree line in front of the barn. That's going to be our best. All of that stuff unfolded there real quick. And I think that's gonna be it for today. Alright guys, that's gonna be it for today's episode. Make sure you all come back and catch us in the next episode of renovating Grandpa's old farm. Up next is going to be planting. We're going to plant soybeans or corn, and then we are going to hopefully get some equipment at the upcoming auction, and then we may work on this top half of the farm here and possibly buy some cows. I don't know. Cows are a little bit annoying sometimes, but I appreciate y'all so much for watching. If y'all enjoyed it, make sure you all like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.